Oski says, I need your knowledge. New breeder, have two girls. One I just AI'd, the other girl, Dondi, went into heat 6 days after that. She was at a 1.2 progesterone, and 2 days later she was at a 0.2. Tested the next day, she was still a 0.2 on the mini Vitus machine. It's now day 10. Well, you're not telling us how old the dog is, but I'm guessing this is a young dog, and she's probably having what we call a prolonged heat, or maybe even a split heat. So you're just gonna have to keep testing. With a 0.2, I'd wait probably 5 days to test again, or maybe sooner if a blood color, discharge color becomes pink. With the mini Vitus machine, you want to do an AI on a 28 to a 35, so you've got some time to go. In Santhras Superstars, my bully puppy's 10 weeks and she has umbilical hernia. Will I be able to breed her in the future? Or should I change my plans on showing? So with an umbilical hernia, it's typically not hereditary. It's not a problem. We don't fix umbilical hernias if they're going to have puppies. We fix that when they have a C-section because they're going to get opened up right through that area anyway, and they can all get sewn together when she's closed up. But generally, if an umbilical hernia, which is a hernia right in the middle of the stomach, if it gets bigger than your thumb, then you may want to do something about it because you can get some gut that gets pooched out through that hole and get strangulated. So if it gets big, then I would go get a surgery done sooner than that. It's pretty straightforward. And you wouldn't do that on a 10-week-old puppy. You'd wait till the puppy's 6 months old, 4 months old, something like that to get it done. So, but not a problem. You don't like a hernia, but hell, I've got a hernia. I developed a hernia about 3 years ago, and I've done absolutely nothing about it, and it's absolutely fine. Love conquers everything. You all recommend websites that steal your money. Okay. As a rule, I always check the customer reviews. I do too. Lost my money in this scam company. First of all, drive. Well, I don't quite know. I'm not going to read this whole thing. It says not. I think they're talking about us. Says not a genuine company who cares about customers receiving their goods. Do they just take your money and run off laughing? You know, again, if you've got problems, you need to contact us because we always make it good, and we have very few problems. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. You don't give me any information where I can even check it. So there we go. Someone's asking, muscle bully kennels, any type of cottage cheese is fine. Yes, absolutely. So low fat or not, I typically just choose the regular, not the low fat, because what you're trying to do here is get calcium and calories into the dog. So don't go for a low fat, low diet version of it, just go for the regular stuff. Small curd, large curd, doesn't matter. Emma Tesfa, is there a test that I can get done to see if my dog has been bred before? No. Nope. The only way that you can tell that a dog has been bred before is if you see signs of a C-section. That's about it. Miguel Rivas, my male fawn and my male is a fawn, my female is a brindle with a white stripe on the chest. Would all my pups be brindle? No. Typically, brindle dogs only have a single copy. So the fawn dog we know doesn't have brindle. Your dog we know does have at least one copy of brindle. With a white stripe on the chest probably means it carries a copy of pied. So I suspect what you're going to get is fawns and brindles 50-50. Rewide Juicy. What if someone wants to buy my stud for AIing? How would I ship it to them? Is it okay to warm it, or does it need to be frozen? I've got lots of videos all about the whole collecting and shipping process, so I'd recommend that you go look at those. But the answer is you need to collect from the dog, you need to add extended to it, then you use a shipping system, of which Shipmate, the one that we sell and patented, is the best one in the world. But I've got lots of videos on that, and the answer is all your questions will be answered right there. And Oxley, breeding is a lot more complicated than people think. Thanks for clarifying this point to us. Yes, well, that's right. I mean, look, it's not rocket science, but the point is there's lots of things that you can get wrong, and it just takes one little step in that to get it wrong, and you get lousy results. If you get it all right, typically you have a nice litter. So you've got to get a dog that's healthy. You've got to get the timing right to do the AI. You've got to get semen that's there, that it's in good shape, whether that is done naturally or done through shipping. You've got to get the technique right to do the AI, and then you've got to look after the dog during the pregnancy. So there are a few steps. Joanne Plazy, where can I buy a kit for my puppy's flat chest? We currently don't have them, but you can certainly go on Amazon and find them there. So if you do a search on Amazon for puppy chest prothesis, I believe you find it. Antonio Balderas, I bet you it's not really him, but anyway, someone's claiming they are. Is it normal for a female progesterone to rise less than 1 nanograms per day? My female went from 1.6 on Saturday to 1.8 on Wednesday. I don't know what to make of that. Is everything okay? Just need to be patient. Or do I just need to be patient? Yes. So what you typically see is progesterone levels start out at something around a 0.2, 0.5, and they take about 5 days to get to a 1. After they get to a 1, typically they raise about 1 point a day until they get to ovulation, which is a level of 5. This is on an IDEX machine. So first 5 days gets to a 1. Then the next day, day 6, it's a 2. Day 7's a 3. Day 8's a 4. Day 9's a 5 ovulation. Then it starts to go up 70% every day. So day 10 would be an 8. And day 11, first breeding, would be something around a 15. Those are approximate numbers, and you can't just go ahead and breed off those. You'll get it right 70% of the time, but not all the time. But the answer is if a dog's at a 1.8, we'll call that a 2, I think you're still probably something in the order of 5 days away from breeding. I would test again in about 4 days, sooner if a blood color turned light. Katie Clunk, I have a question. I have a cream fee French Bulldog, and when I do the eye shine test, her eyes shine red, but when I get her DNA back, she says she doesn't carry Merle. She does not carry Merle, she does not carry Coco. Does not carry Brown. And the vet says her eyes are perfectly healthy. So what's going on here is when you do the eye glow test, it's got to be in a completely dark room with the camera light on, taking a video, not a still picture. Still pictures will show you artifacts that will look like when we take pictures of ourselves, we get that red eye glow shot. So the red eye glow is something that will show up continuously in a video, not just occasionally. And it's pretty demonic in a dog that's 6 months or older. It's pretty obvious. And Teresa, dying at James's impression of Barry White and Tammy's utter disappointment. Yeah, well, that's the truth. Arena Rubert. My French's co-OI, which is the coefficient of inbreeding, came back at 18%. What does this mean, and how could this affect her? Well, it means that there is some linkage in her pedigree between her and other dogs that are close to her. So, for instance, if you bred a twin to a twin, which of course you wouldn't do, you get a coefficient, I think, of 50%. So the smaller the number is, the less likely that you've got inbreeding in present. I don't think 18% is a huge problem. CG says you guys are great. God bless. Thank you, CG. We appreciate you too. Marino's vlog. Any recommendations on what I should do to bring my female into heat? Yes. Put her with another dog in heat. That's about the only thing. I mean, wait, or put her with a dog that's in heat. And remember, it's typically about 6 months between heats. Younger dogs, it could be a lot more variable than that, and older dogs too. But typically the only thing, I mean, there are products you can give like PG600 that'll bring a dog in, but we don't use those products, and we don't recommend that you use them unless you've got a dog that is really like, a year and a half, 2 years since the last heat, and you're really giving up on the dog, then maybe a shot of PG600 makes sense. But otherwise, just wait, or get a dog in heat and house them together. Freddie Kuba, do you get powdered goat's milk or liquid? Both work fine. The nice thing about the powdered is it's very easy to use. You can mix up some warm water and some powder and have it ready to go. Especially if you're doing something in the middle of the night where you kind of want to get back to sleep, powdered is so convenient. The liquid, you've got to warm it up. So it takes you a few minutes to get that done. But they're both great. I mean, I think that probably, in terms of wholesomeness, you can't beat the liquid because, I mean, it's not been adulterated. The powdered stuff typically has other things with it which are beneficial. So, for instance, Espalac is a common powdered goat's milk formulator that's got other things in there. The stuff that we provide with our puppy whelping kits is basically Mernberg's powdered goat's milk, and it works great. But I think that whatever you get, you're not going to go wrong on this. I don't think you have to get too worried about it. And let's do one more. Looks like somebody's looking at our dog Boublier, who's a platinum full fluffy. This dog is more than likely bred down from a King Charles. A lot better coat, shorter tail, more bully look, and further away genetically than full male fluffy offspring will be better type dogs. I'm not sure what you're telling us here. But I can tell you this though, the fluffies have now been around long enough that their pedigree is fairly well established. And although those may have originated from other dogs 10 years ago, you know, by the time that you've got a dog that's been bred 8 times through generations, that dog is a purebred dog. So I'm not sure what your comment is there, but anyway, there we go. Hey, Christmas tree in the back. Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.